share this secret. Our friends, the Sorceress, Man-at-Arms, and Orko.
Autobots, transform!
Hey everybody, welcome to the toy review. I am George. I go by the 80s Transformer fan, and today I am the Masters of the Universe fan. In front of me is the Sorceress from Club Grayskull / Filmations Wave 2 from Super 7, and this is her packaging. She's packaged in this nice slip cover on the back. It's a giant Master of the Universe. Super 7 down there, super7.com. One figure with accessories, and in front of the box, as you can see, the bridge to the drawbridge to Grayskull, and when we slide it up, the drawbridge is miraculously open, and inside of the packaging is the Sorceress herself, looking splendid. Zora, the Falcon, the head for the previous Sorceress. I don't think, did we ever get her name? Packaged in there, and there's a stand, and back there we can see her feathers, which detach, which is awesome because we can get her to sit down on the throne in Grayskull. And the package says Master of the Universe Sorceress Adult Collector, Super 7. Side of the box, Super 7. Side of the castle. And the reverse side of the box is the Sorceress. Same side of the box is this side of the box is the same castle pillar. And I'm going to get her open with a couple slices. See what's going on with this figure. Open the packaging. I love to unbox on camera. And here, attached to the back of the box is a two-piece cape thing. It feels this soft plastic in there. I'm gonna get the Sorceress out, and the plastic on her dress feels very soft. She's tied in at the boots. Oh man, I like the way she feels out of the packaging. So before I get her all assembled, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at what we have right here in front of us. So far, the paint job on the head looks good. On the headdress, it looks good. The black, the yellow, the orange. There's a little bit of bleed, but it's not really noticeable. Her face looks great. She doesn't look that much like the cartoon, but it's a good-looking female face nonetheless. The beak is pretty good. There's a little bit of bleed in there, but not too bad. Her lipstick is good. Her eyebrows are good. Her eyes are good. She has the blue eyes with the pupil and a little white dot for the reflective light in there. And let's go ahead and get to articulation, because from what I can, there's a little bit of bleed back here onto the white from the V of her back. And the back of the boots, I have some white. It's like my paint is coming off right here. If you see, I just chipped that off. And right here. And then look. Oh my goodness. This hinge here is blue plastic. Oh wow. I mean, what the heck is good? Because you can see some paint at the top. The hinge in here is blue plastic. And my hinge over here, or maybe it's just paint on there. So alright, let me do articulation. Her head is I'm assuming on a ball joint, but these guys, they cannot hold a down look or up look. It bounces back from Super 7. Their versions of these guys, the ball joint isn't done well. But her head will 360 because the little cowl or headdress, I should say, is super soft. It's very, very pliable, and it's not hindering anything. But she can't look up anyway because the actual joint itself, whatever's in there, is hindering. And I'm continuing to see paint fall to my little backdrop here. And her neck is painted her skin tone over the blue, which I expect that. And coming to her arms, you can get her arms up this far to do that little iconic pose. Her shoulder 360s, she has the hinge in there. And coming to her elbow, she has a swivel in her elbow. They put it down here so it doesn't break up her little female arm sculpt or whatever. She has the elbow bend. You can actually break her arm that way and get it to come forward this far. And she has a 360 joint in her wrist, and it hinges in and out. And she has the spell casting hand. Stop, Skeletor. Go no further. And this one The sculpt on this hand is slightly different. The fingers are bent a little bit more. I think it's done on purpose, but she can actually throw some spells out there, which is sweet. Then she has a upper chest swivel at 360s, but it won't actually crunch, so you can't get really anything out of that. But I like how they hit it up top, just beneath her bosom. And then her little skirt piece or dress has a little bit of feathering detailing in it. Not a whole lot, but just enough. Not really any on the back either. And coming to her leg joints, you can get about pretty far. The skirt is very, very soft, so she can do a complete split if you wanted her to. Yeah, she's unhindered. Man, a lot of the first people, like She-Ra, a lot of the first people could have used this. The softer plastic, almost like a rubber. And with that hinge in there, her legs can go front to back this far. She can do the splits this way as well. There is no upper thigh swivel like on the guys, I guess for the female sculpt. But she has a knee bend. She can bend that far. And no, maybe there's a boot cut. Yeah, there's a boot cut on her. But it feels like I'm going to break something. You see it like turning back when I release it. And she has the standard hinge down here. And maybe a rocker. I don't know if it's the paint or the softness of the plastic that you really can't flex it. But yeah, there's a rocker in there. There it is. I got it. So that is the Sorceress's body rundown. Now I'm going to get her wings out of the plastic. And her tail feather is in another separate plastic. Man, I bet this cost them a lot of money to produce all this plastic. And there's a lot of detail in there for supposed to be a simple figure. A lot of detail in there with 2 separate paint apps. A lot of detail inside of there and on the back, which I appreciate. Okay, I got her wings pegged in now. And I can tell you her body alignment on mine is a little bit off. The legs are kind of going this way. Like the legs, it's not just where the boot cut is cut, but the actual thighs. Like, as far as I know, they don't swivel at the hip, but like she's kind of misaligned. Like all this is forward, but the legs are going slightly this way. And again, it's not just the boot cut. But anyway, onto the wings, the cape or whatever it is. The back part that's supposed to pour it in here, it keeps falling out. It doesn't like pop in there. It pops in good on the forearms, but in here, it's not staying in there. And I'm not even knocking it around. Push it in there. I guess it stays good enough, especially if you're gonna stick her in this pose. But it works better. Maybe I don't have it even, but it works better in her forearms than it does her direct back. But here she is in that super iconic pose. On falcon wings, I fly. And you can remove this, or here, this is how she looks from the back. You can remove it and add this where she's not really posing. And again, it goes underneath here. And why is it so darn thick? I don't know. I think that's the problem over here. Because it's very thick. It could have been a lot thinner like the bottom down here. But man, they made it thick at the top. And this just pegs in here. So I guess if you have her in combat, she still has the wings. And they're just down. And she's stopping Skeletor. It would have been nice if she came with some type of orb of power. Like she's using a spell or something. Some little orb to go over her hand. To use her magic. And you can also, while they're down, why you would want to though, but they left the option so you can plug the wrist, the forearms in there while her hand is down, I guess to give it more stability. But now it's like it's so thick, her head is kicked out and it's pushing it forward and down. You see what I mean? Like it didn't need to be that thick. But despite that, she looks great. Now the next question is, can I get this dang on head off without heating it up or breaking it. Okay, yeah. I see they purposely made it a lot easier. So here is the original, not the original, but the previous Sorceress head. Went on there pretty easy. And now she looks a lot younger than she did on that episode. And that's pretty cool that you can do that. Like I say, I bought more than one, so I can have this option. What would have been really cool is if we got a Tila face sculpt in there from when she stood in as a sorceress, the time the sorceress was sent to like another dimension or something by accident. Skeletor just happened to be sending falcons to another dimension and just happened to hit the wandering sorceress. The sorceress got popped a lot while she was wandering around. She got turned into a diamond falcon amongst other things. But man, the sorceress need not travel as Zora. Anyway, here is the stand and here is Zora. And there's some pegs here, some pegs on the bottom of Zora's feet. Nope. I'm sure you probably get it to go in there, but that's it. The only disappointing thing about this, Zora looks pretty cool. It's one molded little piece. Even the wings are one molded piece, I believe. Only thing, this is cool, I have this, but the only thing we should have got two. One with the wings open, like when she's transforming, like, you know what I mean? We should have got two, or the ability to pose the wings, I think. Then the purchase so little. So the Sorceress was tough to get in the Classics line. Shit, in the Vintage line, she was tough to get. Speaking of tough to get, here is the Classics Sorceress with Zora in the packaging, and the wings are spread on this Zora, but not quite like this. Like I said, the transformation. This is the Diamond Sorceress, so I got like a few Sorceress Zora versions now. And Neptune turned her into Diamond. But this is how these two figures compare. The expression on the face from the Classics is like 1,000 times better. And I know they probably didn't want to recreate the exact same thing, but she could have had somewhat of a smile. She just has this neutral look to her face, which I would have liked to have seen a smile. So here's how they compare side by side. And again, you know, most of my figures are in the packaging. If that's a good look for you. I just want to say her body is a little weird, a little wobbly. And the Sorceress was a lot like Shockwave from Transformers. Like, she was the guardian of like the most important thing on the planet, and she was always getting her butt kicked. Like, everybody that came to Grayskull gave the Sorceress the business. I mean, everybody. And every time, man, the drawbridge to Grayskull would fall on her watch. It's like, how powerful was she? Should she have been more powerful in the cartoon? I know some of it was plot device, but everybody that came to Grayskull got a W over the Sorceress just about till He-Man showed up. And I guess it was more about He-Man than the Sorceress, but she took a lot of L's. And again, like, I just can't get her to be completely lined up. Like, this thigh is almost lined up, but this one isn't. Oh, it's bugging me. Oh, that might work. That might help. Or maybe not. Now for the money shot that everybody wants to see and everybody wants to do. The Sorceress sits on the throne just fine. She sits on there better than any figure I've ever sat down in the throne, with her very pliable dress, the range of motion in her legs. She looks very comfortable sitting there. Got her next to He-Man. Yeah, what the best thing they did was have that feather cape be removable. Okay, I want to do a little comparison to some of the other figures so you can check out her height. This is her next to Orko on his flight stand. Filmation Man-at-Arms, and she's a lot shorter than him. Get Orko out of here and bring in Tila, which is her daughter or her clone or whatever, and you can see they have two completely different faces, two completely different skin tones. It would have been cool to see her in a headdress, be able to pop the head on here. Alright, my final thoughts on the Sorceress before I get out of here. I like the figure overall. I'm happy to have it. I'm glad they made it. I was counting on this to open up one, just like I'm counting on these guys doing the Shadow Weaver. I can't wait to get Fisto, but that's a conversation for another review. But I was counting on this figure, and we got it, and I like it. I love the spare head. She could have looked a little bit older, but that's pretty much the lady from the cartoon, actually. I got Zora on the stand. I was able to get that done without heating it up or anything. I just put a better lighting on it and just concentrated and got it in there. I love the Zora. I love that you can do multiple things with the cape. I wish it could have been a little bit thinner. And that's probably going to be my biggest gripe. I wish the two different bird capes could have been a little bit thinner going across her back at the top especially, and then this little thing, whatever this is going on with my boot. I don't know what that is. I know I can hit it. And yeah, I can see it's just like some white paint just fell in there, and they put blue paint over the top of it, if you can see it, because I can see the blue plastic at the top right here. White paint, blue paint, and shoot, I don't know what's going on with that. But happy to add it to my collection. These figures are no longer available at retail. I think you can still get her. She might not be sold out on like Big Bad or Entertainment Earth, places like that. You might be able to still get the Sorceress. I know she could be a hot ticket because Sorceress always shoots up. That's why I bought more than one. So this has been George, the Age Transformer fan. Thank you for joining me for another toy review. Now I have a Sorceress that can actually sit in my castle, and I'll see you soon.
Autobots, transform!
Quiet, Orko. We must keep the secret of Zora the Falcon. Yes, we don't want to reveal the fact that she turns into this Falcon here, and she'll be captured even more than she does on every other episode, like that time they caught her and put her inside of a pearl, or that time Neptune turned her into a diamond. Ting! Don't forget about the time Skeletor randomly sent her to another dimension. Yeah, maybe she shouldn't leave the castle, and maybe she shouldn't turn ever into a Falcon. What's up, everybody? You made it to my bonus review. I think this is my first Master of the Universe bonus review. And anyway, I have a box in front of me, and I'm going to unbox this in the review. So, I'm not sure. I think this might be my first Master of the Universe bonus review. So anyway, let's see what's inside the box. Can you guess? Can you guess? Do you know? Do you know? All right. Inside the box is another box. We have actually two other boxes. We have Masters of the Universe Club Grayskull Assortment, Mer-man, Tongue Lasher, Sorceress, Man-E Faces. In addition, there is another box inside, and it is the Sorceress, because I went all out to get the Sorceress and a little bit of tissue paper in the back of the box. And this is actually a review for the Sorceress here, so this would make my third Sorceress figure. Hooray for the Sorceress. Well, anyway, here is Super 7's packaging. If you bought the entire set, Master of the Universe logo here. Master of the Universe action figures, Club Grayskull Assortment. So it's not Filmation. It is officially Club Grayskull Assortment. And Adult Collector, Super7.com. Some more stuff here. And this thing is a case fresh beauty. But I want to take a look at some of the figures inside. So we're going to crack it open and see what's going on in here. And I was concerned when I didn't get this yesterday. It might have been a postal thing. Oh, wait, I think my wife said FedEx delivered this. And yesterday, United States Postal Service delivered my two pieces, which I don't know what's going on with that. But as long as I got them. And when you open the box, you have a piece of cardboard. And there are the 4 figures inside. Let's see if I can randomly pick one of the figures that I have not reviewed or opened so far. Will this randomly be Tongue Lasher? And no, it is Mer-man with some tissue paper separating these, keeping them case fresh. And there's Tongue Lasher. And nope, another Sorceress. and man-e faces. So in this bonus review, we're going to take a look at these guys. First, tongue lasher, the only guy in this wave that I didn't want. But you got to get the whole wave. What can you do? I hated his She-Ra adaptation. So anyway, let's get them open. There is tongue lasher. He's packaged with 2 heads, tongue in, tongue out right there. I don't know what this thing is. This is some type of big old missile. It comes with a little blaster. And yeah, I don't think this guy is for me. Like I said, you had to get the whole wave to continue getting figures, and I wish I could have traded this guy. I love the Classics tongue lasher. And for that matter, the vintage tongue lasher looks better than this. I just like the design of this guy. I guess he looks more snake-like than the frog-like Classics version, but I don't know. They just squoze him in an evil horde on the cartoon. So, with that guy to the back, and going to go for man-e faces. And they pretty much cover all the guys that I want Filmation style. There's not a lot of guys that I'm really dying to see in Filmation style. I think maybe Web Store I wouldn't mind seeing. And I wouldn't mind seeing some of the actual Filmation characters that were only Filmation characters that never got a toy. Here is man-e faces. Looks pretty good. Looks to have like the same type of plastic that's on the Sorceress. I'm assuming it's the same type of plastic on everybody. He comes with a few different handguns, and what is this, like a jousting javelin thing or whatever? I don't know what that's about. Comes with a boatload of weapons. Can't wait to get this guy open and review him. But there is man-e faces, and there's something behind him too. Another weapon behind him. Wow. Yeah, can't wait to get this guy open. So here are the other 2 figures that I've yet to review. And thanks for sticking around for my bonus review. And again, I am George, the 80s Transformer fan, and I'll see you soon with these guys.